Welcome to the Symbio Consulting Podcast. We're your hosts, Matt Sibert and Aaron Nosbisch.
What's
Welcome
up,
to
y'all?
the show. We are specialists in helping CBD and cannabis companies build, launch, and exit their companies. And so that's what we focus on day in and day out. And we're here today to talk about branding and direct-to-consumer branding and traditional branding. CBD as an ingredient and compliant advertising and SEO, among other things. So thanks, Aaron, for jumping on board. I'm excited for
Yeah,
our
man.
first podcast together, man.
I am too. This is huge. It's going to be the beginning of a big thing. Like Matt said, we do cannabis consulting services. We consult companies on how to grow their companies, how to scale them, how to build them, how to launch them. Anything from raising funding to selling it. I'm stoked, man. I've been wanting to do a podcast on this topic for a while, and I'm glad to be doing it with you.
Yeah, and I think it's just two guys that have been through pretty much everything in the cannabis industry. We're going to be just talking about different topics every week, and it's just going to be a good conversation. We'll be bringing on different guests as well, so I'm excited about it. And like the thing that keeps coming up for me, like all I do is talk to CBD brands and cannabis brands all day, and branding and packaging to me is becoming more and more important, along with the marketing combination of making all those things fit together. And like, what are your thoughts on the importance of those things these days, like compared to a few years ago?
It's changing for sure. And I think brand is the critical piece of it. I always talk about branding as a capsule, right? Your brand is a capsule for meaning. It holds everything that you communicate about your brand. So everything from the experience, how the product tastes, the colors, the checkout experience, the first impression I get when I see a video ad, or what you pop up for with keywords. All of those pieces add up to a complete picture, which is your brand. And what's interesting is it's changed a lot. I don't think that the idea of brands being a capsule for meaning or brands being a symbol for meaning has changed over time, but it's how we communicate in the relationship that brands and companies have with their consumers. And so specifically, a lot of times we saw these like these lone islands, right? We would see brands and companies kind of being isolated to themselves, trying to take on other brands in a very competitive way and try to acquire market share as big as possible. And often we saw them focusing on awareness advertising, right? So when we're talking about marketing, there's kind of these generally three stages. You have awareness, consideration, and conversion. Back in the day, or rather saying that back in the day that far, but just for a lot of marketing, traditional marketing, it was focused on that top layer of the funnel, awareness.
All awareness, yeah. It's just like billboards, magazine ads, like all that kind of stuff.
And to even play in the game, you had to have such a big budget to even drive enough awareness to acquire market share. You had, what is it, 7 touch points or 9 touch points that lead to a conversion, I think is what they say these days. And so
I think it's even more nowadays. But yeah, it's getting more and more.
I read another stat, which is, I think it sounds a little exaggerated when I say it out loud, but I think it was that you see 5,000 advertisements a day. It's crazy.
Well, that's why you got to do things different. And I always go back to the brand feels, because everybody sells tinctures, but they broke through the market and all they do is sell tinctures. And we could show you their website, and what they did was brilliant. All they did was they focused on the customer experience with the website, I would say, and then their packaging. Look at the tincture bottle right there is different than anybody else I've ever seen. And
absolutely. No, these guys killed it, man. It's totally next level. And when going back to the same thing with branding, right? What's the first thing when I get here? I associate a feeling to it of calmness, of clarity, of completeness. That they understand me and they're taking the time to create the most optimal product that they can. And I don't want to pull up another company, but there's plenty of other companies that are not doing this, and it's a huge missed opportunity.
Most companies aren't. I would say, when I look at 100 websites, I would say there's only 2 or 3 that are at this level.
Absolutely. And now it's not cheap necessarily to do this. I got quotes from a couple of guys on websites to get to this level or variation of such, and they run anywhere from 15 to 40,000 on average. So, but it all comes down to the complexity. For instance, if you look at Feels and you scroll down to these What Are CBD, they have a lot of high animation, a lot of interactive parts of their website. that kind of add those complexities. So you can get kind of a scaled down version of it. But what's interesting about this, it goes back to the awareness, consideration, and conversion part of modern marketing. Fields is not simply trying to create awareness with their brand. They are trying to create awareness and then allow you to consider right on their homepage, right? Products, membership, what is CBD, stories, quality, help, log in, your cart. They're just even here, there's more opportunity to consider the product upon their marketing efforts. And obviously the site is just like extremely conversion focused, right? Membership, make a commitment to feeling better, get Feels delivered to you monthly and save 30%, which, by the way, if you're not looking at monthly recurring revenue in your business, it is the name of the game in 2020. The projections that you can get from a monthly recurring revenue, even with a significant drop off, like 50% drop off rate and a 10% attrition rate, which is the ongoing percent of people who fall off, it's still crazy, crazy.
100%.
Larger.
I would, if I was launching a new company, I would be totally focused on a subscription based. And like, if you look at happytea.com, they do a great job of this. They're crushing it.
Totally.
And they give 40% off if you join up for their subscription. And so they really are pushing people. They used to have it at the top of their header right there. It used to say 40% off.
Yeah, I see it right here. They see the cross off in $14.97
Yeah, look at that. That's a good deal. And so they really incentivize. It's almost direct wholesale to consumer if they join up on a subscription, and that's why they're doing so well. And so,
and another thing we're looking at, just for those of you listening, not watching, we're looking at like on the website, they have a "We Are Here" online button where I can all of a sudden go ahead and talk with them. And so that goes back again, consideration. If I have questions, I have a real person right there. And what that is defining, it's that high touch approach that these direct to consumer e-commerce companies have. They take out the middleman, is essentially what a lot of these modern brands and companies are doing. You don't need to work. You don't need to go to your CVS or talk to your guy at Walmart or go to GNC or even get a recommendation for your friend. You can go to these websites, have conversations, get your question answers, and start generating a true and personal relationship with these brands. And I think that's fundamentally what they're doing. One more quick point on this. Yeah. With subscription, I definitely think subscription is the answer, but a lot of people are promoting it as such. The key with subscriptions is not promoting it as a subscription.
Yeah.
It's rebranding the idea of subscription in a unique way. Feels does an excellent job with that by doing membership. And to think of it, subscription is almost like an interruption, where membership is almost permissive. I give permission, or I desire to be part of a membership or a club. And if I can be part of a club and get 30% off, and what that allows me to do is consistent direct to my door delivery of my products, and I get 30% off, that way that is presented is far more lucrative and desirable than saying, hey, this is an auto ship subscription, which I think consumers are almost starting to consider as traps or negative things.
Yeah.
So I think membership is a great way to do it, but if you can take the time to innovate upon the idea of what a subscription service looks like in your business, I think you can find a lot of success.
Like join the family or something like that, like
exactly
making it more of like a team or like a family.
And rewards too, rewards opportunities are huge. Like there's Smile rewards on Shopify and WordPress now. And these guys, they incentivize it. And I'll tell you, we did something similar at Monk when I was there. We generated an ambassador group of 5,000 people strong. For those of you who don't know, I was a CMO of a company called Monk, and we had a really focused on our relationship with our consumers. And we would have content released from BuzzFeed on one occasion where people didn't want, they didn't use our products right, and we let our ambassador know, and then all of our customers just fly over there to correct them. And it's so curious, but what you're creating is this deeper personal relationship between the brand and the consumers, and I think that's what's fundamentally different from traditional marketing and branding to what we're doing today. It's far more high touch and personal while scaling up your brand.
Yeah, and that's another thing about branding. It's not just your logo and your website. It's everything you say and do, including your packaging. And we talk a lot, me and Aaron talk a lot about eco-friendly packaging, and that's the future. I guarantee
Absolutely.
you, like within a few years, all this plastic packaging will not be. And so you have to start thinking about that now, what your plans are for packaging. It's really important.
Absolutely.
Like, I was talking to one branding expert recently. He said 30% of your initial budget should be towards packaging.
30%. That's really curious. I haven't heard that, but I like that.
I thought that was really high, but I mean, it's like you could come up with
Totally.
some really good packaging. And
I think it's essential. I mean, people value it as the product. You know what I mean? It's not just the product that people are consuming anymore. It's the entire experience. I just did a video. Have you seen that Can You Forex brand? They do like I'll talk about crazy experience. I'll show that one real quick too.
Yeah, that
I've never even.
packaging is incredible.
It's great packaging, and I've never even seen a website this. Steve Jobs had a quote, right? Real simple and think differently. Trends start with someone thinking differently and passing off that. So if you can create a high touch, high quality brand like this and do it in a different way, you're going to allow yourself to be highly differentiated in the market. Yeah. And so if you guys can, they have kind of a 70s style going on, total internet 1.0, customability, not necessarily following the rules, but still being conversion optimized. Really cool. And you know who we see this with in the CBD business is Recess.
Yeah, they're a great brand.
They kill it. So, what does Recess guys, do, guys? You should check them out if you haven't seen them. Recess is a sparkling water infused with CBD company, and they do very innovative, very cutting edge design and development and packaging and experience with their product, and they're really kind of trailblazing ahead with what it means to be a D2C business in the CBD space.
And this is another example of a company that's willing to take a risk because, CBD drinks are on the radar big time. And so like I have a client that's a CBD kombucha, and they've lost a lot of accounts because the health departments in local areas are, making them take their products off the shelves. And so this company is being rewarded for the risks that they are taking. And so you got to take risks sometimes, I think.
Absolutely. Well, and actually, this brings me to a good point. It's about risk, and it's about risk management, and part of that, which is like, what is Recess doing? I've noticed recently, it's not so much about hemp anymore. It's more about the ingredients. And so, one thing that Nat talks about a lot, and there's a lot of other guys in the group that talk about it. By the way, we have a group on Facebook. If you guys haven't checked it out, you should totally do it. It's wonderful, great members in there. But Sean Kemp talks about it. Paul Booth talks about it. You talk about it. I talk about it. But it's thinking of hemp and CBD as an ingredient in your product rather than the core of your product. So we're pulling up Recess's page right now, looking at the sampler. Or let's see. Yeah, the sampler. So one of their products. And what it has in it is American ginseng, how do you say that one? Theanine,
I think.
Yeah. And then hemp extract. And what, the hemp extract is not overly promoted. It's one of many ingredients in their product. And I think that this is a strong way in order to build a brand, use the benefit of CBD as an ingredient in your product, but at the same time have more opportunity outside of CBD itself.
100%, man. Especially on the brick and mortar side. Like I saw this about 3 years ago. There was a CBD brand, and they opened a retail store, and they only sold their brand, and they only had like 6 SKUs. And I was like, oh, these guys are going to be closed, and they did close down. And so if you're going to open a CBD brick and mortar store, like I would not make it a CBD only store. I would be doing like a hemp store or a health food store or something that incorporates more than just CBD products, because I just feel like it's way too niche down at this point. And even with e-commerce brand, like one of the best brands that I've seen is I think it's called Primal Life. It's a husband and wife team, and they have organic CBD toothpaste, powder, and deodorant, and they also have regular CBD toothpaste, powder, and deodorant. And they've been able to get into Walmart with their regular products that aren't CBD based, and they crush it. And so it's just having those options and really making a brand instead of just talking about CBD all the time. It's about your brand. And like my lady Dr. B, we're creating a brand called Goddess Moon, and we're opening a storefront, and it's going to have crystals and tarot cards and CBD and services and more.
That's
it's a community that we're creating, not just, it's a community for women empowerment. And so it's not about CBD at all. It's about empowering women. And so you got to find that passion and that cause, I think. And then a lot CBD is in alignment with that.
And then CBD becomes a piece of it. It becomes aligned with it, and sometimes it even supercharges it. But I think that's awesome. I didn't know you guys were starting that. That's I remember you talking about that a bit. That's great.
It's
really about community.
Yeah,
well, it's about community, And when you're building with those kind of companies, man, it's about movement too. Like what do we think about, fan of Trump, not fan of Trump, and not necessarily declaring my stance. But what I really appreciate about his campaigns and a lot of politicians these days is, what do they sell? They sell their brand. And then what is the second thing they sell? They sell a movement, a change, a change that people want to see. And their brand is the service agent of that change, or the change agent of that. So with that, Trump uses "Make America Great Again." What do we see there? We see that people are getting aligned behind a movement that his brand represents. So now replace that with your brand, whether it's Feels, Prime, or Moon Goddess. What is your brand? Who's the subject matter? Moon Goddess. What change do you want to see in the world? And then align both the brand with that movement. Man, that is one of the most powerful branding strategies and marketing strategies.
Yeah, it's all about your purpose and your way.
Absolutely.
And your vision. And if you can articulate those three things, that's powerful. And check out, if you Google purpose, way, and vision, there's a buddy of mine in New York that I met, and I think his name's, I can't remember his name. I'm a stoner, sorry. But if you look up purpose, way, and vision, it's, I think there's a paper. There it is. Mission, vision, and values are dead. And it's true. Like, when you go on a website and you see somebody's mission statement and vision statement, nobody reads that stuff anymore.
Totally.
It's about your purpose, and really speaking on that, and your way, and how you're going to do that, and how you're going to impact people. And so check that out too. That's Brand Foundations, and they're a great company.
Yeah, I like that, man, a lot. I think that's, people are tired of reading business documents with mission statements. They want to see, what is your purpose? Why do you exist in the first place? How's the way you're going to do it, and what impact it's going to have? And I think it's brilliant. It also reminds me of Simon Sinek. He wrote that book. Wasn't Simon Sinek the one who wrote Why? Yeah. Why by Sonic. Start with the why. It's the same thing. When you're starting with the why, when you start with the why, you're starting with your purpose, and then you're going to how, your process. And so I think that's just a critical piece of it.
Oh man, that's the first thing I ask every new client that we have. I say, why are you doing this? Because if you don't have that strong why reason, you probably won't succeed, because there's going to be days that are so tough that you're going to want to give up, and you're going to have that strong why reason. Why are you doing this? Why are you here? And that's,
I feel like half of our consulting is mentoring people on how to get through the entrepreneurship struggles. It's
such a mindset. Mindset is huge. Like in our course that we have on how to launch a successful CBD brand, the biggest portion of the course is mindset, honestly.
Absolutely. It's a critical component.
Yeah, and I'm still working on it daily. It's a work in progress.
It is a daily. I'll tell you what I do. I do these what I call my cornerstone habits. Kind of comes from James Clear. I don't know if you know him, but he wrote that book, Atomic Habits. And he talks about, if you have these cornerstone habits that or a cornerstone habit that you focus on doing that, or a couple of those, and then all of a sudden the rest of your day is kind of angled towards that mindset of being successful, or being prosperous, or doing the right thing. So for me, it's like, I have to swim. I'm training for a triathlon. Oh, cool. I want to do one and then be done with it. But for me, it's swimming, and I journal every day, and I meditate every day. And I try to read one chapter of a book, minimum. If I do those 4 things every day, the rest of my choices throughout my day are optimized for me to reach my goal naturally. And so anyway, I think it's a critical piece of the mindset is just going into it and doing what's necessary in order to take care of your mind, body, so that way you can go into the ring of entrepreneurship and succeed.
Yeah, you got to have that daily morning routine. Like, one of my mentors always told me that, and his life is amazing. Like, he has season tickets to the Cubs. He's a Grateful Dead head. He rides his bike like 70 miles a week, and he's like 65 years old. He does yoga. He's just chill, dude.
It's critical.
And he just says you got to have that daily spiritual routine, or that daily morning routine. There's a great book, The Miracle Morning, that I love a lot, and it's just about that, like setting up that 1 hour, waking up an hour early for yourself, and really having that time to yourself to get set for the day in a positive way.
Yeah, I'm working on that a lot these days. I'm working on good sleep schedules, getting that circadian rhythm, and getting good morning and evening starts. I have a friend, a big direct consumer e-commerce friend, Ben Katzman. He runs a Wanderer bracelet. He told me the other day, he goes, and they're a huge company. I forget exactly how much they're doing, but multi-million-dollar company per year. They do. He said he started, the one change he made in 2019 that And he just would wake up at 5:30 and complete his whole day that way. Oh, I think I lost you for a minute. So I was saying there you go. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. He was saying that he wakes up every morning at 5:30, and that's the one change he made in 2019 that fundamentally shifted his success.
Yeah, man, I believe it. It's important to really have that extra time and just do it right. And no, recently, for the first time, I started drinking coffee, and
Yeah.
it's really helped me stay focused and my energy levels. Like I walk like 9 miles now, and like
Totally.
my energy is off
How
the
many
chart.
how many years did it take you to start drinking coffee?
I'm 44. Yeah, I never drank coffee in my whole life.
That's funny.
It didn't agree with my stomach, but now I just mix it with milk and it's fine. But yeah, it's like it's a performance enhancer for sure.
Oh,
Like
man. All things in balance. That's the key, in my
yeah,
opinion. You get
I
too
just
much
do one
coffee, and
cup in the morning, like, and it really sustains me. And yeah, I'm never gonna increase that. Maybe 2 cups, but
yeah.
but yeah. And so just to keep it moving, we've been really successful recently getting ads live on Facebook, and that's been amazing to see because so many
It's been a lot
companies
of fun.
every day talk about how they're getting shut down on Facebook. And so how have we been able to do that? Because you're the guy that runs all that, so that's over my
Totally, man.
head.
Totally. It's been cool. Like, so it's one thing to build a company in the CBD space, right? It's focused on branding and marketing, but sales. And there's a lot of strong ways, but I think we should cover three. Why don't we talk about Facebook ads, and we talk about maybe some SEO stuff a bit, and then maybe some influencer marketing, touch on that. Because I think those are three of the most lucrative and interesting acquisition methods, customer
Yeah.
acquisition methods for CBD companies right now. So let's start with Facebook ads. So like Matt said, I run a company called Lucid Media, which is a partner of Symbio, our cannabis consulting company. And what Lucid Media does is we do video creatives, which is the most critical part about Facebook ads is creative, specifically video. And I use a quote that Matt, you'll remember, but I always say, if a photo, people say a word speaks a word, a photo speaks 1,000 words, then how many words does the video speak at 60 seconds? I got those numbers right. I might have them backwards, but the answer is 1.8 million words. And the point is that video communicates an exponential amount of information, exponentially higher than photos or words do.
Yeah.
If you're not investing in videos in the CBD space, you're making a mistake. It's one of the biggest opportunities to differentiate, to communicate who you are as a brand, and to acquire market share. So,
And I can't believe how few brands are actually doing video ads
it's
and
crazy, man.
videos. And one of the best examples that I've seen on content creation and videos is Joy Organics. Their CEO
Oh,
does
cool.
a really good job of educational videos, and they get a lot of views on YouTube, and
That's
you can
awesome.
tell the guy cares, and it really comes across. And so
Yeah, absolutely.
spending that time, and it takes time. Like even look at Joe Rogan. When he started, nobody was watching him for a long time, and now he has a massive following. And so it's
Absolutely.
just consistency and time with not only video ads, but just like video content as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it comes back to the why, create videos that support your why and that they integrate your products. That's the key. And who else does really good educational content? Dream CBD, Austin over there. He does a lot of YouTube. He has a whole YouTube strategy. We could talk about that with SEO, but he has a whole YouTube strategy focused on creating excellent content and then organizing that to get rankings for
Oh,
certain keywords.
I tell everybody about Dream Nutrition, Dream CBD, and Austin,
Yep.
because he does a great job of not only that, but going out in the community and giving talks locally where he's from in Indiana. And he has done
Yep.
an amazing job at building that company step by step, rolling up his sleeves and doing the hard work that a lot of other CEOs won't do. And now he has
Yep.
well over 300 accounts just in Indiana alone, if I'm not mistaken.
That's awesome. Yeah, they're huge. He's been doing it since like 2015, I think, too. So he's
Yeah.
been a little bit longer than a lot of the newcomers are. Okay, cool. So with Facebook ads, so let's start there. Facebook ads. I'm running. We run this company called Lucid Media that does creative. So we just talked about. So we do video creative, but we also do ads, and we do it for direct to consumer companies that have a socially conscious mission. I believe that the spreading of hemp and CBD throughout our nation in the world is a socially conscious mission. But we try to add one layer of value on that. So most of the companies we work with, they have some type of social value that they add. And this is something to think about when you're building your brand. When you're talking about your why, added as a layer. One, because if you're going to spend the time growing something, my advice is that it should add value to the world.
100%.
You know?
Every company that we work with gives back in some way or another to a cause, as far as I know. I think pretty much every company we work with does that.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep. And it's important. So lean into it and see what you can do there. So that's that. And so we do a lot with direct to consumer e-commerce companies, but we also do a lot with CBD. We're some of the few that, and the key there is compliance. Many people are advertising CBD, are trying to advertise CBD, but there's only a few ways you can do so that agree with Facebook's rules. So let me go ahead and show you a couple ads. This is Vici Wellness, great company. They do both patches, topicals, tinctures. They do a handful of other things. But if I go down here, and you can do this on any Facebook page, by the way, guys. We're on, for those listening only, we're going on Vici Wellness's Facebook. We can do it on any page. And there's a section called Page Transparency. If you hit see more on that, and you scroll down, you go to ad library, you'll be able to pull up any company's ads that are running on Facebook and Instagram. So real quick, here's a couple ads that we made for them. These are 42 seconds on one video, 37 seconds on the other video, and we're promoting their patches. And so one patch is a migraine relief called Oh My Migraine. Another one is period discomfort, or cramp discomfort relief. And so we made 2 videos for these. These videos go to their landing page, and then they convert. Now, what's cool about this is all these ads are totally compliant with Facebook and Instagram. Some keys here is you want to avoid the word hemp or CBD in your ad. You can use hemp, although it's a little bit more risky. And then on your landing page, you also want to avoid the word CBD. You can use hemp as much as you want, though. That's fine, as you can kind of see here with our few different uses of the word hemp. So this is one, we're about to roll out a new landing page for them. We just got these guys live and starting to generate sales, and it's going pretty well. And so there's a lot of opportunity out there. Go ahead and give it a shot. It works best with topical products. If you're trying to run a tincture, there's some alternative ways you can do it. Let me go ahead and pull actually Feels up while we're on the topic. Feels, we showed you that at the beginning of this. They're also running ads on Facebook and Instagram. Now, they do it a couple different ways. So they sell tinctures. So if you're selling tinctures and you want to compliantly advertise tinctures, notice what we see here. No mention of CBD in the caption. And then when I click through, in video as well, there's no mention of CBD in the video. But funny how Feels is doing video. One of the biggest guys in our game right now. They're doing video, posting testimonials. They're sending the traffic to a article written about their company on Cosmopolitan. And in the title, it says CBD right here. And then throughout this whole page, we see links that go back to their website.
And it says subscription in the headline too, which makes you just think like, man, it's a subscription service, It's like,
so when people talk about not being able to advertise tinctures, I just say you're not thinking creatively enough. You got to be able to think creatively. How can you drive that traffic? And so in Feels' case, they worked with a PR company or directly with Cosmo, got an article that redirects to their website. And I know that they're converting a ton of customers.
Real quick, Aaron, sorry to interrupt. What are those numbers in the top left of each one? It says like 9, 10.
Totally. I believe it's
different iterations, maybe.
It's the same ad duplicated towards different target audiences.
Oh yeah, so like lookalike audiences or something.
Exactly. So they have 9 ads of this ad going to different people. Gotcha. 10 ads of this ad, which is a lot, so they might be retargeting, they might be lookalike audiences, interest-based, or whatever.
And what's incredible too, like I was doing a consulting call yesterday, and I had my phone next to the computer, and it was on Zoom. Yep. So the clients mentioned a service, and today I saw the ad for that service.
Really?
Yeah.
Curious.
So they're listening. The phone is listening.
Well, people always think that we can listening, and I think there's definitely some of that going on. But I'll tell you what works. They just have so many data points that they can really kind of predict what's going to happen. It's a little scary, but I think it's more so that they have a really clear understanding of us and what we're doing and who we're interacting with and what it's going to lead to, which is a little utopian or dystopian, depending how you look at it.
Well, yeah, and I actually talked to a guy. He owns the technology for the phones are listening, and it'll run an ad. Like he's crazy. Very rich guy.
That's crazy. Well, one more thing on this Feels real quick is I just want to point out one other way people are doing it for tinctures. If I'm over here on Meet Feels searching for new hemp products, okay, here's an ad. Now, watch when I click through this. what does this ad say? Hemp education, right? If I click through this, this is Fields' website. This
Yep.
is a tincture company running an ad to a blog article on hemp oil education. And what do I do when I'm here? I try Fields.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
Then all of a sudden I am in their funnel and they're converting.
That's a great
And
strategy, using your blog as an educational tool and
huge strategy.
running the ads that way.
Tons of opportunities. So guys, give it a shot. I think ads is some of the I think it's some of the clearest and lowest hanging fruit when it comes to short-term sales for your CBD business or
Oh
driving
yeah,
traffic to your CBD business. And give it a
100%.
shot. You know, the thing with ads is ads are user friendly enough for everyone to try, but at times when you're scaling it up, if you have trouble and you're looking for teams that have significant spend and experience driving results, give us a call. You know, myself alone, I have $4 million in ad spend at a return 2 to 5x return through Facebook and Instagram, and then my team has even more than that. So give us a call, and we're happy to help if you guys have any trouble. Also, feel free to post in the group. If you guys are not in the group, get in the group. You know, we're constantly answering questions about ads.
Yeah, check out it's CBD Business Success in Facebook. Check
Absolutely.
that out. And there's over 5,000 members and growing, and they're all pretty much CBD brand owners and people that help
Congrats
them
on
out.
that, by the way. You just
Oh
hit
yeah, thanks.
5,000. That made you the biggest CBD group on Facebook. Is that right?
Yeah, for business. There's like other
Business.
ones that are bigger, like for customers and consumers and
Cool.
education. But yeah, for business owners.
That's
And
awesome,
so
man.
yeah, we're growing that. It's almost a year old now, and so I'm excited to keep building that up. And another thing that we were going to talk about today is SEO for cannabis companies. And you know, we've seen a lot of success recently with like Pure Canna has had a lot of success in the SEO
Right.
game. And
MedTerra.
oh yeah, MedTerra does a great job with their SEO, and I actually met one of their people, and there's different strategies of that. But what I've noticed with SEO is, in my opinion, to do it right, you really have to have a big budget and a long-term strategy. It doesn't happen
Absolutely.
overnight.
It doesn't happen overnight. And that's, you know, I would say it's kind of, it's three things. It's kind of what me and you talk about a lot. You got to have budget. You have to have the budget to invest in SEO. You have to have a timeline and the willingness to commit to that timeline. So those go hand in hand. You know, it's not a budget of, okay, here's a flat fee and now make it happen. It's okay, you're going to commit to a monthly budget and reoccurring and work on that until you get the results. So I'd
Yeah,
say
because it
budget,
could even take like
timeline.
6 months, like to
6 months is about average. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good SEO work, you see about 3 months, you start to see something.
yeah,
6 months is when you start to really receive the benefits. That's been my
yeah.
process. But
So that could
here's the third key is it's vetted expert, man. You got to have a vetted expert. There's so many
100%.
people shilling SEO right now that if you don't have the right team or the right members, right people on your team, and the way to find these vetted experts, just ask for results. Show me some results. You know, give me some case studies. What's been happening? And when you get that, when you have those three things in line, you can succeed with that.
You're better off definitely really vetting the person. But even sometimes, like I vetted an SEO guy, he had tons of testimonials and case studies. Everybody was bragging about how great he was, and I paid him 30 grand and nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh gosh.
So sometimes even then it just you know, it backfires.
Totally. Yeah.
He was just hanging out with celebrities and stuff too much and not doing the SEO work.
The hype is real, man. The hype is real.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's crazy, but you know, it's being intentional. That's the key. Being intentional. You know, track it as we go. What you know, ask your professionals that you're working with. Ask your vendors. What should I see after a first month? What should I expect after 2 months? What should I
Exactly.
expect after 4 months? If they're not aligning with the expectations that they're setting, there's probably something going on. We do the same thing with ads. I tell people this is how much ROAS it takes, or that we see in the first couple months of a new company. This is where it comes over time, and then we hit those or exceed those. That's the key. Real quick on that. I know a couple. Paul Booth has been promoting that he's doing some SEO services. I think that he knows his stuff. Paul's really great at branding. We work with him a lot over there, and I'm excited to see some of the results with all these new clients that he's been taking on with SEO.
Oh yeah, they have a great team over there, and you can reach out to me or Aaron, and we can connect you to them. And
Totally.
so they work with major brands in Europe and South Africa, like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and other brands like that, doing their SEO. But they love supplements and CBD, so that's their like passion, and they love helping brands in that niche.
Absolutely. So absolutely check him out. There's a bunch of others as well. There's if you check our group, there's tons of guys in there that are offering great SEO services. But again, you know, you got to have that budget. You got to be committed to the timeline, and you got to find a vetted expert.
Yeah, and I just met the guy yesterday that does SEO for Pure Canna's new brand. So
Oh,
that's
really?
another one. Yeah. And he's really amazing. So that's another one. If you want to reach out to me, I'm a connector. So that's what I love doing. And we have a huge network of vetted professionals to help our clients and friends in the CBD industry connect with the right people that aren't con artists, because there's so much of that out there. It's a little disheartening. Like, I come from the THC world, running dispensaries, and this was before licenses even. We were running unlicensed dispensaries, and the people in that world are way more honest and legit than the CBD world people. It's tough.
Absolutely.
So you really have to do your homework and vet people, including me and Aaron. Check us out.
Absolutely.
Talk to our
Absolutely.
clients and check out our testimonials.
We always say you know, I always say what gets measured gets done. And you know, there's that other one. I think they use it in the military quite a bit, but
Or trust but verify is one that I
trust but
like.
verify. That's the one. That's good. You know, trust and assume best, but verify. Just see what's going on, and you know, and have them show the work. Anyway, I think SEO is a great strategy. You know, if you know, when we're consulting our companies, we often advise to have significant budget or raise the money for the significant budget if you want to play a long-term CBD game. And two of the first things that we do once they launch is get them on live on Facebook ads and start working on an SEO strategy. Because by the time that your ads are picking up and starting to drive those early results that are giving you that inertia and momentum, you want your SEO to start picking up and start carrying some of that weight.
Yeah.
You never want to be overly invested in one channel of customer acquisition.
100%. And to me, the best way to really get, if you're looking to get instant results, like if you have product that just came in, you got boxes of product in your warehouse, if you have enough of a team, the way to get instant results is roll your sleeves up and start contacting retail, brick and mortar stores. And that's
door
my
to door,
expertise. Yeah. Roll your sleeves up, get out there, drop in on them, or utilize a sales process to get those brick and mortar accounts. And that's one of my passions. And I'm a sales expert, and I teach people a step-by-step process of how to land those brick and mortar and distribution accounts. And that way, I mean, on your first day, you can start going out and getting accounts and getting sales if you know what you're doing and you know how to hustle. And one company is Green Lotus in Texas. I believe that's their name. Carlos is the CEO, and they did millions. I don't want to say, there was significant millions of dollars to brick and mortar before they even focused on e-com. They decided to focus on that route. And so sometimes it depends on how much of a team you have and where you want to put your focus. Like, some of my clients, they don't do any e-commerce at all because they don't have an e-com background and they don't have the budget to hire a team of e-com people. So I say, well, forget e-com then, just roll your sleeves up and go get accounts.
Lean into your strengths is often what I say, you know, like that's the key. But, you know, even when it comes to e-com or not, it comes to, for a lot of guys, it comes to sales and how you're going to generate those sales. And you can invest in strategies and experts all day long, but often the best way to go about it is get out there, go to door to door, talk to people, find out what they love about your product, find out what they hate about your product, and make those initial sales. And you know, if you're focusing heavy on being a modern brand and a direct-to-consumer brand, or you're approaching the e-commerce space, make those retailers integrated into your brand. And what I mean by that is, you know, you're everyone who will take it. Find the people who align with your brand values, who align with your product and with your vision. Go find those retailers and sell their products there. So for instance, at Monk, when we were first getting started, we were trying some nurse, getting some Facebook ads, doing some influencer marketing. But really, you know, we would get out there. We got a list of yoga studios and juice bars and whatnot. We found integrated retail channels that supported our mission, our vision, and our values, and we went door to door until people started carrying our products.
Yeah, I love it, man. And that's the way to go. Just a combination of things, if you can do it, and if you have the team and the budget, it's really important. And so I think that was a great first podcast. We covered a lot.
I think so too,
and
man.
We'll be back next week, and we'll keep doing this. And we're going to provide as much value as we can to the industry and help you guys as much as we can. You can always find us on Facebook or Instagram. What's your Instagram handle, Aaron?
Yes, Aaron, Aaron, J as in James, Nosbisch, Nosbisch, Aaron J Nosbisch, at Aaron J Nosbisch, the same as my website, aaronjnosbisch.com.
And you can look up my Instagram. It's CBD Business Success. And also on Facebook, CBD Business Success Group. So you can find us there. We're always hanging out. So yeah, it was awesome, man. Let's do
Totally,
it
man.
again.
If you guys want to hear more about our consulting services, we're at wearesymbio.com. You can get up in there, or you can find us on Facebook as well. I say next week, let's talk about influencer marketing. I know a lot of people are interested. They had a Hurricane acquisition by Heavenly RX in 2019. I think that was one of the biggest CBD acquisitions, $90 million. And one of their main strategies is influencer marketing. I think it's a big deal. So let's talk about influencer marketing next week, and
Yeah,
maybe
maybe some
let's touch
affiliate
on
marketing as well.
maybe even selling on emotions. So I think
Yep.
what we're gonna do next Wednesday.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Awesome,
Cool.
guys. Well, thank you for showing in and tuning in. We really appreciate it. And we're excited to help you build, scale, and exit your companies.
Have a good one.